Hello everyone and welcome back to more AEW on TEW 2020. We're here the second time. We've had the first week of August. We've been an entire year of my terrible booking. So, we'll see how... Well, I mean, definitely things have changed. I mean, lots of things. But that's something we'll get up to as we have our tag team night today. On Dynamite, not on Dark. BTE, very quick. Didn't really have too much motivation for... Supposed to be Alex Reynolds. Didn't have too much motivation for BTE, so I just went into the booking. Nat Murphy and Scott Steiner have zero chemistry, that's fine. Murphy and Mantello defeat Fuego del Sol and Sean Dean. The North defeats Top Flight. Adam Page defeats Jay Briscoe. A debuting Julia Hart and Danny Jordan defeat Leva Bates and Harlow O'Hara. Pac defeats Penta El Cero Miedo. The Best Friends with defeat the Hodgepodge team of Frederick Hurst, Brandon Cutler, and Joey Janela. Jessamine Duke defeats Layla Hirsch. Not too bad of ratings. Not great, not awful. Probably need someone to carry the Psychology and Jessamine Duke matches, but I think that's not bad. And then we get our main event of Dark as Dustin Rhodes defeats Shawn Spears. Afterwards, Fred Yehi and Davey Boy Smith Jr. come to the ring, and they look ready to fight down Dustin Rhodes when QT, Marshall, and Jonathan Gresham come in and make the save, and they chase off Team Tully to successfully end off Dark. I kind of just rushed through Dark this time. I kind of just wanted to get to the tag team night because I thought that would be, I don't know, I feel pretty excited about tag team night. I feel like it's going to be pretty fun for me to book, and feel like it'll be a pretty good show. So, we'll see if that is the case for you in just a moment, for me in like half an hour. Our show of Dynamite, our tag team night of Dynamite, begins with Devitt and Joe against Kenny Omega and Cody Rhodes, and Devitt and Joe actually defeat the former members of the Elite, as Devitt pins Cody after a double knee gutbuster. Pretty good performances all around. Yeah, I'm fine with that. Devitt up to the point where I want him to be. Following the match, Devitt looks around at Samoa Joe, who begins to deliver some extra damage on Cody. Devitt is expecting, however, when Kota Ibushi, Jonathan Gresham, Dustin Rhodes, and Adam Page rush out to help out Cody and Kenny. Devitt calmly steps aside as the members of the Nightmare Family, Gresham and Rhodes, take Joe out. They they make sure that Cody's safe, while Kota, Kenny, and Page all come up and get into Devitt's face. Devitt, he doesn't have a mic, but you can very easily say that he's, you can hear him say that he's smart enough to know not to let things like this happen. And from the other side of the ring, the Future, which is Leo and Donnie Lambert, and then Jacob Fatu slide in, and Devitt tells the three of Ibushi, Omega, and Page that, hey, I don't want to get into a fight, so you guys leave. That's, I'm fine. I'm fine with not getting into any fights. Kota, you have a match later on. That's fine. So yeah, very nice segment there. After this, Renee Paquette is backstage with the Hardy Boys, and she is interviewing them about their contributions to tag team wrestling as a whole. Two brothers are being very humble about their effects on tag team wrestling, and Matt Hardy laments his injury, so he would like to have yet another run with his brother in the tag team division, especially one as good as the one in AEW. Matt Hardy's still out for about a year with a shattered knee that he got at a house show, which since I have stopped doing house shows, just because they're also kind of draining money. So, yeah. Yeah, they helped a little bit on popularity, but too many people got injured from house shows, not really worth it. So we are taking things on the road, slowly but surely, in terms of our actual Darks and Dynamites. But yeah, Matt Hardy, he's still out for a year. If he doesn't retire, I'd like to still see him and Jeff do some tag team work together. If he retires from the injury, That's fine. I can work with it, but it is what it is. After this, Jon Moxley and Eddie Kingston defeat the American Wolves, who are debuting, and Eddie Kingston defeats Davey Richards. Very, very, very nice performance by both members of the American Wolves. These guys also brought them in as a tag team. They were part of the same signings as the ones I did last week. Same group of signings. So Briscoes, Aussie Open, Claimed, and the American Wolves were them. But the American Wolves had not fully signed yet by last week. So thinking maybe I could do Briscoes. Ended up going with the American Wolves. I think that worked out pretty well. And Moxley and Eddie don't work as a team. That is a bit of a shame. After this, Pac is seen backstage with Brutality Inc. There's a loads of background security on the ground as Pac twirls a chain in his hand absently. And just says Orange Cassidy and his best friend buddies. I have immense respect for your talent, Cassidy, but something about you just gets under my nerves. I've worked my ass off to get to where I am, and I'm always at the top of my game, and you can just pretend that it's fine for you to laze about the ring and get through with just your power of friendship. But the power of friendship is bullshit. You need to do whatever is necessary to get to the top, and that is why you are a joke. But you know what? Even that joke managed to throw me off my game. Cassidy, mark my words, I will break your fingers, I will shatter your legs, I will wipe whatever stupid grin off your face, because you disgust me. Plain and simple. This is probably going to be a short episode. This was a very wrestling-focused show. Only about a half hour of segments, but whatever. After this, we have... Oh, I feel like I put this in the wrong spot. Oh, well. Renee Paquette is ready to interview Mick Foley about his contributions to tag team wrestling, but she's interrupted when Chris Jericho grabs the mic forcefully from her hand and looks into the camera and just says, "So, you go to Jeff Hardy first when it comes to tag teams? So that you want... You know what, Jeff? You say that you're the great... or that they're the greatest tag team of all time? No, that's stupid. I am the greatest of all time. I'm the champion. I'm the reason that AEW drops in 1.5 million viewers worldwide every single week. And I've had almost as many tag team championships worldwide as Jeff and Matt, and I've done it with infinity times more tag team partners. Jeff Hardy, you're a fraud when it comes to being the GOAT. You're a fraud when it comes to everything, and you're just trying to deal with the real best wrestler. Singles, tag teams, anything. I am better than you will ever be, Jeff Hardy." And then he storms off the screen angrily, and he's yelling the entire time, and Renee's just like, "Hey, we don't actually have time for the interview with Mick Foley now. Because we got our next match coming up, which is the VIP's Club taking on Jordynne Grace and Riho. I wasn't sure who to put as Jordynne Grace's partner, so I ended up just going for Riho. Very nice performance. Deonna does pin Jordynne Grace, or doesn't pin. She submits Jordynne Grace with the Fujiwara armbar. Very simple match there. After this, we see Maki Ito in a vignette from some auditorium, probably somewhere at wherever the RP Funding Center is. And Abaddon is shuffling around in the background, and Maki is talking to the unseen cameraman, and she talks about Ashley Flair. She says that Flair is a stuck-up, pretending to be important, famous dad having, and before she can say the line that everyone knows she likes to say because they can't allow that on the censors, Abaddon makes a noise, and that gets Maki back on track. Maki continues to say that Flair is just a fake, and that she's received all this attention and all this glory because she was granted it because her dad was famous. Maki had to work from nothing. Maki was not originally even a wrestler. She had to start off wrestling to sell tickets for her idol show, and now she's a fan favorite in the wrestling ring. Plus, Flair keeps disparaging Abaddon, and Abaddon is Maki's friend. Because of all this, Maki vows that she will beat Flair down, so that's what people want to see. And also, because Maki is way cuter than Ashley Flair. So, just kind of finding some stories to build up on the background. I still need to work on building my mid-card, undercard stories. I always want to reset my storylines, basically, but I'm going to wait until after All Out to do that. After this, Anna Jay and Mayu Iwatani are actually defeated by Anna Jay and Tay Conti when Shida is submitted by Tay Conti with the cross armbar. Penelope Ford and Viperous also attacked Mayu Iwatani. Mayu with a 75, very nice performance through that. So basically, a few minutes before the end of the match, the Rose Garden came in and began to attack Mayu Iwatani, essentially turning the rest of the match into a handicap, and Shida had mostly been kept in the ring anyways. This allows for Tai Conti to eventually get the... Oh, I said the rope win. Whatever, it's fine. They get the win, and the two members of the Dark Order flee as Shida takes a moment to collect herself before helping out Mayu take out the Rose Garden. So yes, the Dark Order pick up a bit of a sneaky win. However, it's very much not a clean win. Basically ended up being a handicap match by the end. So yeah. Notice Renee Paquette is interviewing Arn Anderson. He has the Von Erichs beside him. He talks to time about how his tag team is Tully and how they've impacted the tag team scene in all of wrestling over their time. He talks a bit about the Von Erich family, of course one of the more legendary wrestling families, but before he can get too far along, he's interrupted by the Gun Club and the Dudleys. And Devon and Billy talk about how the Von Erichs aren't the only tag team family, especially now that wrestling has, become more important. It's getting to the age where some wrestlers that were in the height of the wrestling boom can have their own kids, so obviously, Billy's kids, Devon's kids, they're all here. They're not on screen because there's not enough room, but whatever. Then Arn, the Von Erichs, the Dudleys, and the Guns all start arguing before Renee sends it back for the next match, that being Kota Ibushi and Miro losing to MJF and Chris Bay. And Chris Bay pins Miro because Sammy Guevara attacked Miro. I'm pretty sure I set Miro to be kept strong. So this is the first loss on Kota Ibushi's record. Even though it is only tag team, it is only for a it's only for a tag team. It's only, he wasn't even pinned for it, but still, he now has a loss on his record. Sammy Guevara watches as the chaos unfolds as the VIPs and Kota fight, and the VIPs, mainly Chris Bay, make sure to keep Miro down. Sammy is heard yelling to Miro that he didn't want to fight me, so I'll just fight you instead. As he watches the chaos just sitting on top of a turnbuckle. He's distracted when Darby Allin and Ace Austin start fighting. So basically what the thought was for this is that, Darby Allin, he's rushing in to start attacking Sammy. Ace Austin cuts him off. They're fighting on the ramp. Sammy goes to help Ace. Eventually, Darby manages to break away long enough to get away. Ace and Sammy chase after Darby as the North, of course, employees of the VIPs Club, come in and they escort MJF and Chris Bay to prevent further repercussions because they're not sure what Heyman's policy is now, because he did announce last week that he was changing his policy a little bit. And in our main event, The Vision defeats the Young Bucks when Lance Archer pins Nick Jackson with the powerbomb Meteora, and they make their first defense. So yes, objectively speaking, Young Bucks probably should have won. 91-85 compared to an 82-75. Pretty lopsided there. Vision, not as good as performing, but I think it's about the climb for the Young Bucks. So I'm a homer because I made the Vision, so yeah. Pretty good show. Was expecting it to be a little bit better, admittedly. I was thinking that would be our first 80 rated show, but it's fine. Next week, we'll see what goes on then, because I don't even know right now, but that's besides the point.